Hi everyone, how are you? Students, in today's lecture, we will discuss about galaxies and their types. Galaxies are large collection of stars, ranging from small galaxies consisting of hundreds of millions of stars up to the largest galaxies, which can have upwards of 1 trillion stars. Galaxies fall into several categories developed by astronomers based on their shapes, like spiral galaxies and elliptical galaxies. The spiral and elliptical galaxy is represented by this image. This image represents spiral galaxies, elliptical galaxies, and also another type of galaxies that are known as irregular galaxies. Students, there are also galaxies that don't fit into the standard classifications. Our classification system has really become a zoo of a galaxy types. Among the unusual creatures in the galactic zoo, active galaxies are those which are thought to host the supermassive black holes at their centers. Let's visit the zoo. Stafford Galaxy. The galaxy NGC 7742 is an example of a Stafford Galaxy. Stafford galaxies are spiral galaxies with unusually bright central regions. The properties of the light emitted from the bright cores is not typical of regular starlight. Students, normally the light from a galaxy is mainly black body emission from the stars, as we learned about earlier. But the central regions of Stafford galaxies also have a bright emission spectrum which indicates extremely hot gas. Stafford galaxy is represented by this image. Quasars. The first quasar discovered in 1963 is called 3C273. It looked much like a star. However, the properties of the star seemed very peculiar, so it was called a quasi-stellar object. This name was later shortened to QSO or quasar. Students, modern images show that the quasar isn't a star, but an ultra-bright nucleus of a galaxy. This is represented by this image. Another type is blazars. In 1929, astronomers observed a star-like object that they called BL Lake. This thing also looked like a star through a telescope, but its brightness varied so wildly that it could sometimes be 15 times brighter than it was during the previous month. At the time, it was classified as a variable star, but when better telescope observed BL, evidence for a galaxy could be seen surrounding the bright point of light. Other similar galaxies have since been discovered, and they have been called BL objects, since they seem very similar to the original BL. More recently, astronomers have been calling these galaxies blazars. When blazars are imaged, we find them at the center of elliptical galaxies, as represented by this image. Radio galaxies. Galaxies are made up of lots of stars, so we expect the light from a galaxy to look like the light from the stars. Stars emit most of their light in the ultraviolet, visible, and infrared part of the electromagnetic spectrum. One thing that stars do not emit significant amounts of the radio waves. That means that normally we would not detect much radio wave emission from galaxies. However, a small fraction of galaxies emit lot of radio waves. We call these galaxies radio galaxies. Most radio galaxies are also giant elliptical galaxies. One such radio galaxy is represented by this image. Students, active galaxies that are part of this zoo share many similar properties. Typically, they have a bright central object called an active galactic nucleus (AGN), which is surrounded by the faint stars that make up a spiral or elliptical galaxy. Students, this is all about this lecture where I have discussed about galaxies and their types. Thank you so much.